The really big thing is hacking human beings. To hack human beings, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power, and especially a lot of data. If you have enough data about me and enough computing power and biological knowledge, you can hack my body, my brain, my life. You can reach a point when you know me better than I know myself. And once you reach that point, and we are very close to that point.
Yuval is back, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Yuval Harari. You know, if I'm not mistaken, this is in The Guardian. And what gets me about Yuval is this. He likes to come out and pretend like we all are stupid. Like, he likes to come out and pretend like nobody saw him on the TED Talks and him saying that we have all these useless people in the virtual gods.
In the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century, what humanity basically learned to produce was all kinds of stuff, like textiles and shoes and weapons and vehicles. And this was enough for very few countries that underwent the revolution fast enough to subjugate everybody else. What we're talking about now is like a second industrial revolution, but the product this time will not be textiles or machines or vehicles or even weapons. The product this time will be humans themselves. We are basically learning to produce bodies and minds. Bodies and minds are going to be, I think, the two main products of the next wave of all these changes. And if there is a gap between those that know to produce bodies and minds and those that do not, then this is far greater than anything we saw before in history. And this time, if you're not part of the revolution fast enough, then you probably become extinct.
He likes to act like nobody saw that. And then he comes out and writes these articles where he's like, yeah, you know, AI could create entirely new alien species. No, homie. You already know y'all did this. It's crazy, man, that these people parade themselves around after the fact as if they're some kind of super intelligent human beings. And what I mean by that is this. Let's just say me and the first 5 people who saw this video, we were invited into a room where we saw all the advanced technology that was being rolled out. Now, mind you, this guy's a historian. He ain't no rocket scientist. He's a historian. So let's say we all got invited into the room and we knew that there were machines that could be in everyone's house that will pull water out of the air, and you would never have to connect to a sewer line or your plumbing to the plumbing of your local city. And then we came out and they said, hey, we're going to roll this out in 2025, December. We came out and said, in the future, the AI technology could lead to the possibility of solving the problem of pulling oxygen and H2O out of the air, man. And you can just get water created right here in front of you, man. And then everybody celebrated us like we was a genius. This man is not a damn genius.
Then democracy, the free market as we have, and actually all political systems, also authoritarian regimes, we have no idea what happens once you pass that point.
Sacrifice. But they keep on acting like he's somebody special and letting him prophesy over the world. And in his article, he wants to talk about the ancient Greek myths of the pantheons and Goethe's poem. And if you're not familiar with the poem, it's about a sorcerer's apprentice, right? He's comparing AI to the sorcerer's apprentice, where the sorcerer's apprentice is left in the lab. And he casts a spell that makes a broom go out and fetch water. But the problem is he doesn't know how to cancel the spell. So the broom keeps getting water and it starts to flood. So he comes up with this bright idea that he's going to cut the broom in half. Well, now you got 2 brooms going out and fetching water, so it only floods more and more and more. Until the master magician gets back. Mind you, he's talking about, in this article, he talks about old gods and magic. And then he goes to proceed. Let me stick with my train of thought. And then he goes on to proceed to talk about how the magician comes back and brings everything under control and stops the flooding. But in this article, he talks about old gods and magic. And then he goes on to talk about how the AI itself could create other races, alien races. First of all, look at him. He is a damn alien. And I know YouTube don't like when you talk about their friends, but I don't give a damn about your friends, YouTube. That's a damn alien. In the next few decades, it's likely AI will gain the ability to even create new life forms. What in the world does that mean? I can tell you what it means, because they already did it. They were doing it in China 5 years ago.
If you thought mutant soldiers with unstoppable physical and mental powers were nothing more than science fiction, then brace yourselves for what I am about to tell you. In a chilling op-ed, the US Intel chief has warned that China could be breeding genetically modified soldiers. You heard that right. The Chinese regime could be creating mutant soldiers. This possibility has been raised by John Ratcliffe, a former Republican congressman and the director of national intelligence under the Trump administration. Ratcliffe has released an exhaustive report labeling China as the biggest threat to democracy and freedom since the Second World War.
And so Harari comes out and prophesies like, yeah, in the future we may be able to see AI do this and do that. It's already happened. It's already happened. But they like to pretend like it's on its way. Computers are not yet powerful enough to destroy human civilizations by themselves. As long as humanity stands united, we can build institutions that will regulate AI. Humanity is not united in any way, shape, or form at all. And if there will be anything that's used to destroy humanity, it will be AI. And I want to make sure you understand, this bastard right here, who's taking a picture in front of himself in the mirror so he can look like he's infinite, reflecting himself in the infinity, which this is a demonic picture. If you don't, whatever, I'm not even gonna try and explain it to you. This bastard right here is down with the get down, 100% down with the get down. And the problem is, I'm talking too much. I need to let you hear what he got to say.
But human rights are just like heaven and like God. It's just a fictional story that we've invented and spread around. It may be a very nice story. It may be a very attractive story. We want to believe it. But it's just a story.